Do I like beef? Yeah, I like beef. Good morning, I'm Phil. Welcome to Pretty Good Cooking.
Pretty good.
This morning on the show, we're going to teach you how to make corned beef hash. Variation 1, that's what we'll call it. Corned beef hash is a timeless classic. It's a leftovers dish. We've been making a lot of those recently, but you know, we once again don't have the leftover components for this dish. It's breakfast and we're filming in the morning, so the first step is to pour a drink. You decide if you're going to drink alcohol this early in the morning. I'm just going to start off with some homebrewed kombucha that looks slightly suspect. Smells weird. All my kombucha smells weird. Look at that. Ah. That's some of the best kombucha I've ever made. Okay, so John and I messed up. So I wanted to get a tin of corned beef to make this, and we ended up with a tin of corned beef hash, which has the potatoes already in it. It looks like dog food. But, you know, just to timestamp this episode, coronavirus has locked down the entire world, so we certainly can't waste good food in these trying times. So, variation 1 is open a can of corned beef hash and just add more things to it. Alright, let's start with our potatoes. I'm gonna use some small Yukon Golds today. Got 5 small ones there. You probably want to use more if you don't already have potatoes in your can. Alright, so the potato component is one of the components that presumably would be left over. So here I am chopping up these potatoes because we gotta cook them before we cook them again. And you could cut them any way you like it. There is not a right or wrong way to do it. And in fact, I find that a lot of times people like to rough cut the potatoes for hash because it makes it look more rustic. You know how people be liking those rustic things these days. You could leave the skin on or not. Totally up to you, because you're gonna kind of fry it up, but it's not gonna be like a home fry, right? But there is more nutrition in the skin. So in these trying times, when you're trying to get every nutrient out of everything, maybe leave the skin on. We'll put some water in there, and we'll set them on to boil. Be back in a short time. Alright, so our potatoes are boiling away in that pot. It won't take too long to cook because we chopped them into bite-sized pieces. So we're going to start chopping our vegetables. So I have onion. Onion is a critical component because otherwise this dish would have no flavor. So I strongly suggest using an onion if you can. And I'm going to add bell pepper. Partially for color, because otherwise this thing just looks like a big old pile of brown. Does not appeal to me. John was teasing me because I had to go to my outside fridge to get this onion. It's like an onion from the archive. But in doing my little bit of doomsday prepping, onions were top of mind. I was like, oh man, I better stock up on onions. I think almost nobody else felt the same way. Alright, that's probably plenty of bell pepper right there, just that one slice. And we will slice this very ripe pepper into similarly sized pieces. Congratulations, you're halfway to Potatoes O'Brien. This is now a recipe for Potatoes O'Brien. Alright, over here we have a skillet, cast iron skillet. So we have to heat it up on medium-ish heat and a big knob of butter. We'll let that melt. Okay, into the skillet, place your chopped vegetables, if you're so lucky as to have chopped vegetables in this trying time. You know, there's a lot of narratives these days about hoarding and anti-hoarding, right? Because that's the world today, right? You got one camp who's like, I gotta get all the toilet paper in the world or I'm gonna die. And the other camp's like, you need that much toilet paper, you're gonna die for other reasons. And so I try to strike a healthy balance, right? You know, just take what you need. But I'm hoarding onions. I don't feel sad about it. I'm not ashamed.
How many would you say you have?
I can't disclose that at this time. So anyways, I'm gonna saute these up. Look at that rustic onion chop. Clearly done by a man in the morning. Alrighty, I can tell you we're gonna need more butter. Alright, I think our potatoes are done boiling. I tested it with a fork, it's done. We got sent this by a company, what, like 4 years ago or something? I've used this thing so much, but it's finally breaking. I just love that it fits perfectly in this little pot. Isn't that nice? Send us a new one. Alright, and if you're trying real hard, you could pat these dry, or you could just say, screw it. You know which one we're doing. God damn, I love onions. I almost feel bad that we're gonna put a can of cat food on top of these. I'm just kidding. Alright, here we are. Can o' hash. don't even want to touch it. This isn't that gross. It's just a little unfamiliar. Looks pre-digested. They did the hard part for you. All right, so I'm gonna push that down. We're gonna fry this whole damn thing, and then I'm gonna put potatoes on it. I'm just gonna throw them right on top. Well, this is gonna be the best hash ever made. Now that's cooking. All right, so we could add some pepper, and if you want some additional flavors, you could add a little paprika. That'll give it a little kick. And while we're at it, how about some mustard? Why are we using mustard? We're using mustard because I saw another YouTube video do it, and also mustard seems like a flavor that like would go in this vaguely 1950s or 40s dish. Just seems appropriate to me. Stirring it up. Probably gonna have to add some more butter. What are we cooking? I will update you as we stumble our way through this. Be right back. Alright, pan's not working how I want it to work, so I'm gonna move to a non-stick skillet and I'm just gonna scoop that shit over there. This is a bigger one, so there'll be more room to move it around, and you know, hopefully it works. Looking pretty awful at the moment. Show you what it looks like in a couple minutes. Alright, so using a different pan, I've just flipped the hash and you can see that we're starting to get some brown stuff. That's what you want. So we're going to keep frying it until we get, you know, more crisp hash-like stuff. But pretty sure that we are starting to do the needful. How weird that is. Back in a few. Gonna season it with garlic powder, a lot, and onion powder.
Excuse me, onion what? Onion
powder! And the reason I did that is that I just tasted it and it didn't taste that good to me. Keep frying! I'm gonna season it with some vinegar. This is some ramp vinegar from last year, so this is getting old and questionable. Well, what else do you do when you're already cooking questionable food? Double down. So it's starting to crisp up pretty nicely, so I'm gonna fry it a little bit more and we'll put eggs on it. This isn't really going that well. Alright, so I'm basically giving up on the hash. It looks good, it tastes fine, but it doesn't look good. I take that back. So now we're gonna crack some eggs in there. You can see I've made like 4 spots to put eggs. I'm just gonna crack them right in on top. Now, depending on what heat you have your pan on, hopefully these will just cook, and you'll get also like a nice crisp layer on the bottom to complete your hash, but we will see if that is the case. And at this point you can salt it. Definitely taste it before you add salt, because corned beef can be very salty. This can of whatever is not very salty, so I'm adding some Maldon. We'll be back. We're just basically gonna let those set. So my eggs aren't setting as fast as I'd like, so I'm gonna put a lid on the pan. This is obviously not the lid for this pan. Should not use metal lids on non-stick pans. Just don't follow our instructions. I'll show you how it looks in a minute. Alright, we're calling it on this dish. I'm gonna use one of these old spatulas to try to scoop out some of this hash. And there's our hash. Looks weird. Looks a little extra done on the bottom. Let's try this bad boy out. A little hash and egg. That tastes pretty good. Mine needs a little bit more salt, for sure. It definitely has a little bit of the canned food funk, as it were. But it's tasty. I think we doctored this up enough that it's actually quite edible.
Has it exceeded your expectations?
Yeah, from this ham form, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna put some hot sauce on that. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. But I guess that's it for now. That is a way of doing a thing. Wash your hands, don't go anywhere unless you have to. Keep a positive outlook. Don't hoard anything, but maybe get some extra supplies. Good luck.